And we've got a great... For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And Andrew Luck's skill set is absolutely fantastic. There's not anything that he can't do as a quarterback on the field. But I also think that he absorbed a little bit by osmosis some of that great bloodline. His father, formerly a quarterback in the NFL as well.
On 1st and 10, Luck. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time quickly to look at the Chargers defense.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Out of the gun, Luck. Middle of the field to the tight end, Doyle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerve showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Luck. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass.
Yes.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Broski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Try to forget about that pick six last time out. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Throwing his line. Over the middle, complete. It's Doyle. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Luck now after the pick on the last drive. 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So he had a chance to get him on the board there, but unfortunately that big yellow metallic structure in the back of the end zone, it had other plans.
And that's when we're kickers watching it the whole way saying, oh no, don't hit it. Rats.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Hey, front 80! Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Wait, 89!
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
Let's go! Let's go!
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rivers will get this one to Williams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Check 15. That's a gain of 6. Hey, we got 4 down.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So on 4th down, on comes the Charger kicker, Michael Badgley. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to...
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Jerry Tillery gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Luck now to throw. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
If you're a selfish player, and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. And problem spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've been off to the races already. A 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
3rd and long for Rivers. Able to get away. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On is the Chargers punter now. T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 17-0 our score after 1. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Luck caught left side by Hilton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded just inside the 30. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Luck. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Throwing on third down, Luck.
The beauty of being able to play his own.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Rivers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet.
Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped and picked up by the Chargers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there was going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, so far, just the single catch.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Hit that, green 80, block 11.
On second down, it's Gordon. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Badgley able to punch this one through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Locke. And he will find his man on the outside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. On first down, it's Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 3rd down, Hines. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, 49 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rivers. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Rivers now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Now Rivers. And this complete to Henry over the middle. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rivers to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Throwing Rivers, and it's complete. Henry. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Rivers. This will be caught at about the 5. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Badgley on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Luck. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez standing right on his own 5-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got...
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Jabal Sheard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Check. Fresno. Wait, 89.
They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This 4th and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. And it's the Cleveland Browns who will fight on as they were able to knock out the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rivers pass on target to Hunter Henry. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man.
That is caught. It's Benjamin for the Charger touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the number 1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And that stretches the lead to 27. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Cut.
On the draw, Luck's going to give this to Mack. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
From the 50, it's Luck. Staying on his feet. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa. What a play by him. That's a loss of 17.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing...
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye, Mike Daniels, in for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon, and he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Rivers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On first down, Luck hits his target to tight end Mo Alley Cox. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen?
And he loses the football a second time. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 31, Rivers. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
The Chargers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones, and
the ball comes out.
Here we go, here we go.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, here's Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Fresh off the pick six, it's Luck. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Luck now to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Jerry Tillery able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It was Justin Houston who got him down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. Not what you wanted there, 3rd and 2.
And this is something you've worked on in practice from the time you were in training camp, yet you still create your own mistakes.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Eckler. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
390. I'm coming for you. Wait, not hot.
Rivers on first down.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. They were trying to go back to Allen there, and that'll bring up second down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. Badgley able to knock this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now out on the field here. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Southern California, so long, everybody.